Y'all wanted a story, you said. All right. The Cremation of Sam McGee. There are strange things done 'neath the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. And the Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. Though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. Well, on Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail, and talk about cold. Through the pockets full, it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes would close, then the lashes froze till sometimes we could not see. Wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes against the snow, and the dogs were fed and the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll pack in this trip, I guess. But if I do, I'm asking that you not refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low that I could not say no. So then he says with a sort of a moan, "It's this cussed cold. It's got right hold and it's chilled me clean to the bone. Yet, 'tain't being dead, but an awful dread of a icy grave that pains so. I want you to swear that foul or fair, you cremate my last remains." A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I would not fail. And we pushed on at the crack of dawn, though, God, he looked deathly pale, and he sat in the sleigh, and he raved all day about his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, the corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. So in the days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cussed that load, for every day that quiet clay seemed to heavier and heavier grow. But on we went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low, till we came to the marge of Lake Labarge, and there a derelict lay. She was caught in the ice, I could see in the tracks. Her name was the Alice May. Well, I looked at it, I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum, and here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. So some boards I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the furnace fire. Some coal I found was laying around, and piled that fuel still higher. Man, the flames just soared. That furnace roared, such a fire you seldom see. Then I bored a hole in that glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the sky growled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow, and it was deathly cold. But the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks. I don't know why. And that greasy smoke in its inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled against my fear, but the stars came out and danced about before again I ventured near. 'Twas time he's cooked. I guessed I'll look. Just take a peek inside. And I bravely strode up to that cabin door and opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm in the midst of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, "Please close that door. It's warm in here. But I greatly fear you let in the cold and the storm. Since I left Plumtree back in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm." Well, there's strange things done beneath the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. And the Arctic trails have their secret tales that could make your blood run cold. And the northern lights have seen queer sights. But the queerest they ever did see was that night on the bars of Lake Labarge when I cremated Sam McGee. Why don't you throw another log on the fire? I'll check the dogs.